Okay, setting proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts: refuge field, bodhicitta field, and the purpose is this practice. Maybe volume, little high, volume. For the refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, as so loving, caring, embracing. And this refuge decides this is like the foundation, this is like the ground. With this, all the good things, such as, say, any virtue that you do becomes extremely stable. This is like the ground, and all our taking the various commitments, precepts, and so forth, they become very firm with the refuge. So the refuge plays a very important role. Refuge in the form of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and why these three as a source of refuge, we'll explain in the class. It's very important. And for the Bodhicitta field, we see that the best of the thing that we can live for is the sentient beings. And particularly when you feel the compassion towards all the beings through practice, you see that all beings have been extremely, extremely kind for you, and particularly in ways of getting rid of all your miseries and helping you to acquire all the happiness that you are seeking. And for that purpose, think of your two kind parents, all of them members, including children, and all the creatures, animals, insects, human beings here in Tushita, and in whole India, in our own country, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. And imagine that you are there as a mother, and all others are like your children. That you are giving them perfect love, affection, attention, and embrace. And the purpose of this practice, now you already know that, is awaken your Buddha nature, awaken your potential, the ultimate potential. We look at the highly enlightened beings like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in the past the Buddha Shakyamuni, Nagarjuna, Acharya Chandrakirti, and so forth. So how come that they have incredible good qualities? Because that the seed inside is awakened. And for example, we look at in the mundane sense, some people are extremely confident, like Albert Einstein and so forth. How come that they're so confident? Again, some part of the Buddha nature in terms of the wisdom, intelligence have been activated. So we all have the same seed. Why not? We cultivate this, yes. So there's no reason why we should feel demoralized. There's no reason why we should feel gloomy, hopeless, and so forth. Each one of us, we have the Buddha nature. The only thing is that we need to know how to awaken this. We need to know the proper systematic the steps to awaken this. Once you get the key to awaken this in a very systematic way, everything falls in place so beautifully for you. The world, the whole life journey is beautiful. Afflictions, sadness, even these are very beautiful in ways that you see them as how you can come out, like you see them as like opportunity for you to overcome them. Is a great opportunity. So to make yourself stronger, that is whole purpose, to awaken your Buddha nature. For that matter, we need to separate the true nature of your own mind and the adventitious defilements from your mind. How to separate them? We need to first of all identify what these defilements are, the nature of the defilements. And the defilements may come to know that there are two kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one refers to afflictive obscurations. By now it must be very clear for you. And this afflictive obscuration is nothing but constituted of the contaminant karmas and afflictions, which in turn can be seen as in the form of gross afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. And the presence of these afflictive obscurations block you from attaining total fearlessness. And at times you go through all forms of loss of freedom, stress, anxiety, fear, and so forth. You'll be freed from all these. And the subtle stains, subtle stains of the self-grasping ignorance, and all the afflictive obscurations, subtle stains, are referred to as the cognitive obscurations. Presence of this stops us from attaining infinite happiness, to manifest the true nature of mind. And how to awaken these two the potentials within us by getting rid of these two defilements is by resorting to a very powerful remedy. Knowing that the nature of all the defilements, be it cognitive or afflictive, we see that they are somehow connected with the self-grasping ignorance. As such, the remedy lies in the counterforce, which is wisdom of emptiness. And this wisdom of emptiness, just as the afflictions or the mental defilements are extremely spontaneous, fast, and the intense, the counterforce, the wisdom of emptiness as well, must be so intense and spontaneous. How to make it intense and spontaneous? This is only through the wisdom of meditation. And this wisdom of meditation, to reach to that level, we can't really go directly. There's no shortcut to this. Some people call it as a cut through. There's no cut through. It is only through the preceding courses. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. What is the preceding course? Preceding course is the wisdom drive through reflection. We must first of all gain conviction in this, that what I'm seeing is not the reality. To reach to that conclusion of the conviction that things don't really exist the way they appear to me, to reach to that conviction, your own conviction, not as a borrowed knowledge, but as your own knowledge. For that matter, we need to have extensive learning. That is known as wisdom derived through learning. So through these, then we can see that through wisdom of the learning will take you to wisdom of reflection, will take you to wisdom of meditation. Wisdom meditation, again, there are two. One is conceptual and one is non-conceptual. And eventually it should be taken to a non-conceptual direct experience of emptiness. And we do feel some people, 1 out of million, 1 out of billion, the beings just are born and a teacher teaches something and instantly that realization happens. This one is a spontaneous explosion of the wisdom. It is only for very few. And who are these people? Very fortunate people? No, these are the people who already went through study, reflection, meditation in the past life. And in this life, we say they are so special. They are not. They already did these things in the past. So therefore, people confuse this with cut through. There's no cut through. So these people who did all these things in the past, in this life, they see it so like it's cut through. But they already put the effort before. And many people that get confused. There's like the propaganda that our tradition is where you can cut through, and if you can really cut through, just see if you can cut through the afflictions, and the afflictions, they just remain same. So for that matter, we should be so wise, not be deceived, fooled by some propaganda. So if you really want to experience cut through, spontaneous explosion of realizations, practice it now. Next life, you can expect all these things happening. So with this in mind, with the desire to take the maximum opportunity of this time together here in Tushita, we will generate a very strong wish that I will learn as much as possible the wisdom of emptiness. And this wisdom of emptiness, to what extent this can be of benefit, it is determined by the motivation. And the motivation should be the motivation of Bodhicitta. And the Bodhicitta we're going to study, and again make a very strong determination, fervent wish that I will learn about Bodhicitta, this most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta, desire to benefit all the human sentient beings, to take them to ultimate happiness. For that, the trigger is a great compassion, wishing that all beings be freed from suffering. And this compassion will make sense only if you have the experience of misery yourself, for which we need a sense of renunciation. So this is how whole path, the extensive, complete path, comprehensive path of the Buddhist teachings is seen. So with this in mind, let's turn to page 3. that all the demon sentient beings are with you, all Buddhist Bodhisattvas watching us, and you're inspiring all the sentient beings to join you. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje Juda Zoge Chonamda Badu Dane Yasuch Lola Penjara Sanje Jubare Jo Sanje Jola Zoge Jonamla Chanjo Palo Dane Yabzo Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Lola Penjara Sanje Jubare Jo Sanje Jola Zoge Jonamla Chanjo Palo Dane Yabzo Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Tola Penjara Sanje Dubara Jo Sanje Jola Zoge Chonamla Chanjo Bardo Dane Yabzo Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Tola Penjara Sanje Dubara Jo. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is afraid of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes are helping migrants achieve the aims of the world, which through the possession of which helps subdue us expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide and motivated by ultimate benefits sentient beings, the teachers who gather and protect to your administrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and dissolved with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well as taught by the Gracia. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one Beyond our trends, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of 3 times obeisance. The four seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the 4 destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shaggy clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced the 7 strides, then set up supreme in this world. You to you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, with a motion like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you are prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incompatible wise one, to you are prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding. Feel of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies the prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not kindly perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain their rank of false seeing, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered, but helped by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. Heart Sutra, page 29. Heart Sutra, the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. And thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was riding on mass of Alchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with the great community of monks and the great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Empty is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object to touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation in the path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, there is the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell at 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mother of the perfection of wisdom, the mother of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mother of perfection of wisdom is declared, Yata Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukuteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Sharitvatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukuteshvara, those surrounding the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. By the teachings of three supreme jewels possessing power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dhamma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dhamma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dhamma, may all auspices of perfect happiness pervade this place now. Eight verses for training the mind, page 35, by Venerable Geshe Langri. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as a lowest among us all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I pour up into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I had discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or on whom I placed great hopes mistreats me in extreme hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains to my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of eight mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the cheating Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized blind of ignorance. Our self-in practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, extraordinary respiration of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful I am Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, call to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down, with energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as each of them is a host of bodhisattvas, and confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sounds from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music and scented walls and parasols, sparkling like sublime incense offered to victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array offered to you victorious ones, were transcendent offering, peerless and vast, when with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these are openly laid bare before you. I lift my heart, rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated with making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing, requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, Mental Offering, page 40. This ground adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. Imagine this as a Buddha filled and over it. All sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Geshe Dorji The four Dharmas, Venerable Gampopa. May I bless that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dharmas, Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps the true existence, please bless me with genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality, bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandela Kamne Rateyami. Foundation of all good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate with the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to gender a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, and alertness in great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I fall into the sea of samsara, so fall other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this twin and supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility to free migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distraction to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajravegal. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and bless it like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, as there's no Vajrayana, but practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it their long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all out and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, to enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, I could attain the state of Vajratara. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage land who knows, Losanta by your feet and make prostrations. zu ye zo ga ma lo sa cha me sham la so wa de me me ze ve de je je re se te me ge me om bo ja me ya han je ke be zu ye zo ka ma lo sa cha me sham la so wa de 302. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer who holds the demons without exception, Sungaba, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snows, those on top of your feet and make prostrations. Okay, now generating the mind of consummate yoga, Tamje Nejuk Simkya, but the actual practice, which has 4 parts, a single point of meditation, or shamatha meditation, then what? Shamatha meditation, renunciation, Bodhicitta, which one I'm saying is then taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay. 5 minutes single point of meditation. Quick for the sitting. If you can sit cross-legged, this is best. Minimum, the back not leaning against support and the back upright. Okay. And your eyes not closed. And the rest you know. Then the next is the focal point. Just counting the breath. Breath in, breath out. Cycle 1. Breath in, breath out. Cycle 2. This is what we do alongside visualizing a tiny white dot between nose and upper lip. 2 things happening together. Then the next is identify the areas of meditation. Primarily mental excitement and mental laxity. And the remedies, introspection and mindfulness. This is so important. Applying the remedies when the mind goes through overactivity and inactivity. Okay, so we learned this physical exercise already, right? Before we learned it. We learned it not. Learned it. Okay, we'll do the physical exercise. So particularly when you do meditation for a long time, or otherwise you have a sedentary lifestyle where you keep sitting like this, computer and so forth, the back, and this will be very useful. Okay, good. Okay. The 2 arms straight, and then take out your right shoulder inside, and the right arm straight, left arm can be a little bent like this, and then towards the knee 3 times. 1, you should feel the stretch to the back. 2, 3, and the younger ones can even touch the knees. The left, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, right. 1, 2, 3. Left, 1, 2, 3. Right, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, 2, 3. Good. Do you feel the difference? Good. Okay. The next is the what is known as the 9-round breathing exercise. 9-round breathing exercise. Okay. So what you do is that when you do that on your own, no need to do it like this. It's just to demonstrate how the hand should be like. Thumb inside, wrap, straight. Okay. Then pull through your knees, legs, ribs, front. Okay, then to the left. And the right fist should be under your left armpit. And let go of the forefinger. Release the forefinger. And then block your right nostril 3 times. Put it in the knee. Again, 3 times. Okay, now the next pull through knees, legs, ribs, front to your right side. Okay, let go of the first finger, block the left nostril 3 times. Okay, again, knees, legs, ribs, front on your knees, both on your knees. Breathe through both the nostrils. Okay, good. Now let's do it all again without instructions. You're getting it? The 9-round breathing. Start. Okay, good. And as you breathe in, your stomach should come out, not get in. You getting it? If you breathe in and stomach gets in, it is wrong breathing. As you breathe out, stomach should get in, not out. So this should not be missed. Good? Okay, now on the 5 minutes meditation, the breath meditation, ready? Okay, next, a renunciation. Today we'll do guided meditation. What we did, the first one, which is shamatha meditation, is single point meditation. Now, renunciation, Bodhicitta meditation, all are analytical meditation, because of which it requires a lot of the thinking, sharp, precise thinking. It requires training. So for that matter, today we're going to do the guided meditation, and tomorrow again without any instructions, you just see if you can do it on your own. And later on, when you are by yourself in your house, you should be able to do that on your own. Okay, good. Renunciation. Now, renunciation is to renounce the miseries, all the fears, vulnerabilities, loss of freedom, and so forth. To renounce the miseries, we need to know that the miseries arise from causes, and we need to identify the causes and see how to stop the causes, particularly the root of the cause. And the Buddha identified the root of the cause of misery. The root of the causes of miseries is ignorance. And ignorance, in a broad sense, the Buddha identified 4 levels of ignorance. Ignorance, misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Ignorance, misconceiving miseries as happiness. Ignorance, misconceiving impure things as pure. Ignorance, misconceiving selfless nature of selfhood. To counteract these 4 kinds of ignorance, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. The first, all composite things impermanent. Impermanence is of 2 kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one, any impermanent phenomena whose continuum terminates. For example, the impermanence of death, impermanence of all the good things that you experience in a life, impermanence of your childhood, impermanence of your youth, impermanence of the beautiful days you were with your parents, where the Buddha taught that whatever is accumulated exhausts. Whatever comes together disperses. Whatever stands falls. Whatever is born dies. It's very true. Today there are 8 billion human beings. And we see that the people, young ones, they have their aspirations, their goals, career ahead. And the parents, they have so much expectation from their children that the children should be settled, the children should have the career, the bright careers and so forth. This was exactly the case 200 years ago. There were parents, there were children. Now where are these people? Not even a single one of them is left today. Whether their goals, careers are accomplished or not, they're all gone. And today we see that that person is very successful, that person is very unfortunate, so forth. But 200 years from now in the future, not even a single person is going to be left then. It's going to be a very different generation. What the world is going to be like, we never know. And even the governance of the various countries, we never know. After 100 years, 200 years, with the digital world, there's so much advancement in digital. Even the world that we see as separate, split into different countries, whether this will hold true, we never know. So this impermanence. And sometimes we see that whole village today so lively, the very night, were washed away by the flood, landslides, cloudbursts, and so forth. And the next day, nothing is in the air. All covered under the earth, nothing is seen. Extremely sad and painful. Yes, there's a gross impermanence. And keep in mind that this reflection impermanence is so important in terms of your death. Those people who know that, people who think about who face with the imminent death, then they will not engage in all trivial engagements, indulgence, so forth. Instead, they will go for something which is more meaningful. If somebody has exposure to Dharma, they'll fully dedicate to Dharma, knowing that my time on the planet Earth is very short. I must not waste my time. So this is what happens to the people who reflect on impermanence of death, that they tend to use their life very productively, not being engaged in indulgence, gossips, and then the trivialities. They just cut down all these trivialities, cut down the friendship with the childlike people, friendship with the say the unproductive people, friendship with the people who are not at all into Dharma. Instead, you learn from the people who are into Dharma. This is the purpose of reflection on the gross impermanence. And all composite phenomena should necessarily be also having the element of the subtle impermanence. And subtle impermanence is the momentariness involved with all impermanent phenomena. Let's say that we plant a tree today in memory of our being together. After 10 years, you come back, 2033. We come back, you're so surprised to see that there's a huge tree in Tushita Center, Tushita, the hall, next to the hall, which was totally non-existent 10 years ago. And somebody, like Venerable Kumela, somebody, they said, no, this is your group who planted this. I say, yeah, I remember we planted something. Now it has grown to such a height, 10 feet tall. So this 10-foot tall tree is not that for the last 9 years, 11 months, it was sleeping and suddenly, oh, tomorrow is a completion 10 years, I should go 10 feet tall. And suddenly it popped up to 10 feet. No, this doesn't happen like this. Every year it was growing one foot every year. So this is how you train your mind to make the mind more active. And then the change, which means that every year it was changing. And the first year change, which is just one foot tall tree, even that, it's not that the last 11 months it had been sleeping and suddenly, oh, tomorrow completes my 1 year, the 12 months, and suddenly it popped up one foot. No, it's not like that. Every month it has been growing. Every month is growing 1 inch. Every month, which means every month is changing. And change that you see in 1 month is again because of the change that you see in the daily basis. Okay, now the change becomes subtler and subtler. Change that you see in 1 day is because the change that you see in the 24 hours. Every hour has been changing, yes. Your mind should be able to go in that direction, not just intellectually. Experientially try to see that, feel that. Then your mind is exercised. This is how your mind becomes more intelligent, more active, and more controlled. The change that you see in 1 hour, 24 hours, the first hour, is because the change that happens in 60 minutes. And this change in the first minute is because the change that you see in 60 seconds. And the change that you see in the first second is because the change that you see over the 1000 milliseconds. So the change that you see over the second is something visible. Tick, 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 tick. This is what is visible. And the change that you see in a millisecond is so fast. Now look at the comparison. The change that you see in 10 years is also like this tree, 10 feet tall tree, stands so static, firm, not changing. But when you see the same tree in the light of the millisecond, on the millisecond level, this tree is by no means remaining static. It is moving so fast, like a very fast moving train. This is not just this tree, your body is no exception. Your body is changing so fast. And your friends, people who you feel attached to, the food that you attach to, house, the cars, the place, your ethnicity, your country, your, say, all composite phenomena, they are moving so fast. You can really see that many of the unnecessary emotions, afflictions, they will all cut down and will be mitigated. That's amazing. Just the meditation impermanence that will cut down, that will let us know what to prioritize in your life. That's amazing. This is the meaning of the all-composite things impermanent. And Acharya Dharmakirti very clearly indicated in Pramana Vartika that when the Buddha taught that that impermanence, meditation impermanence is the supreme, is that with this meditation you will segregate your life activities, the trivialities and the purposeful. Trivialities you just cut down, and the purposeful you emphasize. This is the purpose of meditation impermanence. So this impermanence connotes, but if all composite phenomena, they're moving so fast, from the first moment to the second to the third to the fourth to the fifth and so forth. And the succeeding moments, what they are, is all determined by the earlier moments, former moments, yes. And if the former moments are the contaminated, the succeeding moments will be miseries. It is like you being thrown into a very fast-moving train, not knowing where this train is taking. There's so much fear. The faster the train moves, more the fear. Why? You don't know where this train is taking you. Who decides where this train is taking you? The driver. If the driver's mother or your father, no doubt will take you to a picnic spot. But if the driver is a terrorist or under the sway of the terrorist, no doubt it'll take you to a slaughterhouse, which is miseries. In our case, the driver's mind. Unfortunately, this mind is under the dictate of the contaminations, worst of which is self-grasping ignorance. So as long as our mind is under the dictate of the contamination, worst of which is self-grasping ignorance, the Buddha indicated, all contaminated things are of suffering nature. It will take you only to the miseries. What kind of miseries? Suffering, change, and the pervasive condition of suffering. What do you mean by suffering? The manifest suffering, the pain nobody wants. Even the animals don't want. Sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, stress, and so forth. Nobody wants that. One moment of such a sadness, the one moment of losing near and dear ones is good enough to nullify all the past experiences of the merriments, festivities, birthday celebrations, parties, outings, picnics, and so forth. So this all turned out so meaningless, shallow, and hopeless. It's just nothing. One moment of misery is good enough to nullify all the past moments of the happiness. That's true. Like the losing the dear ones, it can make you go crazy. It can make you go hysterical. You'll be paranoid of these, and all the mundane happiness they are seen as just totally trivial and meaningless. This is suffering as a result of a non-virtuous karmas and non-virtuous afflictions. Suffering change, the trap, the bait is so vicious. In fact, it's so more vicious than the suffering. Suffering is very direct. We see that these are very painful. I don't want to do that. The more we think about it, we want to stay away from the non-vicious karmas. But the suffering change, it comes in the disguise as a bliss, as a disguise of a joy, happiness, so for the mundane happiness. This is all the bait to trap us, continue to trap us in samsara, continue to steal our time. Oh, I'm happy, I'll rather stay here for some time. Stealing your time. Oh, let me rest for a while. I have this very interesting movie to watch. All this is my time for practice. It's time for my time for other studies, practice, or meditation. Let me do this. This is the bait. It steals your time to escape from samsara, like being like being in prison, which consists of the swimming pool, KFC, and the Starbucks and so forth. They are the trap. These are so vicious. Only if you know that this is a trap, you will realize that this is so vicious. It steals your time, and you need time to exit from samsara, and that time is stolen by this bait. So meanwhile, while you are there, You don't put effort. Because of the bait, you are being lured by the bait. In the process of spending time in samsara, you confront the suffering. This is so vicious. In a way, suffering is to be blamed to the bait because it does not allow you to exit out of samsara. Third, pervasive condition suffering. What masterminds the suffering and the pervasive conditions, the suffering change is a pervasive condition of suffering. That we are under the sway, under the spell of this under the spell of the quantum karmas and afflictions, particularly self-grasping ignorance, there is no freedom. The dream is created for you, and then as long as you don't know that you're dreaming, done. You are continuously trapped in a suffering and suffering change because the dream is created and you are unaware of this that you're dreaming. So who created this dream? Self-grasping ignorance. That is a pervasive conditioned suffering. That is what pervades all the two realms. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, these three sufferings, they are so vicious for the immature people. Suffering is so vicious. For the extremely evolved beings, suffering is nothing. Pervasive conditioned suffering is the most vicious one. Wow, this amazing discovery. I never noticed before. This amazing, so precious. Okay, is there a way out? Otherwise, I have to continuously be in this dream created by the self-grasping ignorance and continue to suffer the suffering and the pervasive suffering change and the pervasive conditions of suffering, loss of near and dear and so forth. Yes, all these tears will be perpetuating, will be incessantly be there as long as we don't put effort. But 2022 being impermanent, it already terminated on its own. Yes, there are three kinds of impermanent phenomena. One, whose continuum, no matter what, it will stop. Like as you said, year 2022, your youth, the wealth, and so forth. And there's another category of impermanent phenomena. While being impermanent, the continuum never terminates, like time, your mind, and so the matter, and so forth. And third category of impermanent phenomena, whose continuum will never terminate unless until you put a concerted effort. What is that effort required? Yes, it depends on your knowledge of the root of the miseries. Root of miseries, like your suffering, your self-grasping ignorance, your attachment, your anger, and jealousy, and so forth. These will never stop on their own unless we try to stop them forcefully with the concerted effort. Okay. So what kind of effort is required? It depends on the root of the problem. Yeda dharma hetu prabhava. The root, the Buddha identified the ignorance. And of course, we need to work on the contaminant karmas, reduce the contaminant karmas, afflictions, minimize that, inappropriate attention, minimize that, and finally, self-grasping ignorance. How to cut it? But ignorance, by definition, is a mind which blurs you from having the vision of the reality. And what is the wisdom? The wisdom, to counter this ignorance, we need to introduce the wisdom. What is the wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is the reality? The reality is what the Buddha taught us, the third seal. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. Okay, let's quickly meditate on emptiness. Today, emptiness of a person who you love so much, like your mother, father, brother, sister, children, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Let's meditate on emptiness of that person. Okay, this is going to be guided meditation. And given that you already studied about emptiness, although it is still in a formative stage, but we will try to meditate on this. And meanwhile, just follow the instructions. Don't try to correlate with what you've studied before or what you've read somewhere and so forth. Don't try to correlate. Simply try to follow the instructions. If you want to correlate, you can correlate. Not now, later. Okay, today, at the moment, is the time for us to take advantage of our time together to invoke experience. For all these learnings should be eventually be translated into experience. Okay. Who is that person? Who is that person? Just think of that person who you love so much. And how does the person appear to you? Like a dream that your mind is creating it, or no, nothing to do with my mind, is so objectively there, so intrinsically objectified, solidified there. Yes, of course, so solidified, objective there. This belief that this person who you love so much exists as so objectively, so solidly there, that is self-grasping ignorance of the person. And this one, which is part which is the root of our problems. Okay. But then how do you know that this ignorance, that this perception, this belief is not a valid mind? How do you know that? Okay. If this, remember what Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, were not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if this person to whom I love so much were to exist objectively, why don't I see this person as I go closer to this object? Okay, now let's try to go closer to this object to see what this person's like. So this mind which goes closer to this person to see if the person exists objectively is known as ultimate analysis. Okay, technically speaking, we subject the person to ultimate analysis. Subject person ultimate analysis, first we see a very thin layer of the skin. Of course, that's not the person. Behind that is a fatty tissues. No, I'm not attached to this, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages. No way. The whole skeleton, very scary to look at, let alone being attached to. Let alone being the object of attachment, is so scary to look at. Alongside the heart, the lungs, the liver, spleen, pancreas, stomach, intestine, gallbladder, and so forth. All these solid parts constitute element of earth, and none of the element of earth in the ultimate analysis to be identified as one with this person who I love so much. That's true. Next, element of water. 4 liters of blood, which is pumped in and out by the heart to different parts of the body. Of course, that is not this person. Element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy. The body heat. Yes, of course, that is not that person. Element of space, or element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs to different parts of the body. Of course, that is not that person. Element of space. Space vacuum in nature, this person is a solid person. So even that is the space also not this person. Element of consciousness or the mind. I can see this person, but I cannot see the person's mind. I can just infer, not see. And also that this person is a male, this person is a female, and the person's mind doesn't have a gender. Gender is based on deposited on the basis of the body. So this, even the consciousness, also not this person. Okay, now in the eyes of this ultimate analysis, if at all there's something from the object, what are you seeing? I'm just seeing the 6 elements. Okay, tell me. In the eyes of ultimate analysis, which of 6 elements is to be seen as intrinsically one with it, one with the self? Which means that which of these, in the eyes of ultimate analysis, which of these is seen as objectively the person? None. If you're sure of this, just try to scan through each of these parts: earth, water, fire, space, air, consciousness. None is to be identified as objectively as that person who I love. Okay, if this is not the case, see if the person still exists objectively real by as something different from these parts. To see that, remove all the parts, remove all the 6 elements. Remove that, what do you say? I say nothing. Where is this person? Nobody to be seen. If you are sure of this, you understand the third essential essential understanding the emptiness of objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Okay, but this, ruling out the true possibilities for objective existence of the person, entails that the person cannot possibly exist objectively. Yes, if you know that, you ascertain that the fourth essential understanding the perversion that anything which is empty of intrinsic one or intrinsically different from its parts entails emptiness of the objective existence of the person. Okay. So what now with these the four essentials in our ultimate analysis, where is this person who you love so much and who you see as so intrinsically real? No way to be seen. It's quite scary to see that the person who I love so much is not really there. This discovery that I'm making, I'm not inventing it, I'm discovering it is quite scary to see that he's not there, she's not there. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay. If you start to see these six elements there, the person's not there, but six elements are positive phenomena. You are not meditating emptiness. Likewise, if you see the atoms also positive phenomena, they are not negative phenomena. Emptiness should necessarily be the negative phenomena. Oh, it's empty. The atoms where the self is empty. Atoms. I'm seeing the atoms where the self is empty. This is affirming negative. While you reject the intrinsic or objective self, atoms are seen. This is affirming negative. Again, this is not emptiness. What should be the case? Just reject the self to be visible there. Stop there. Don't even touch the atoms. Viewing the atoms, viewing these elements should be the stepping stones to get there. Once you get there, just ignore the rest. Just get hold of this. That self is nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be existent in our ultimate not. Stay in this experience, in the non-affirming experience of this. I just pick up this isolate out of millions of isolate of this person. Pick up this isolate that this person is empty of objective existence, meaning that in the eyes of ultimate analysis, this person is nowhere to be seen. And this experience of non-affirming negative can be extremely brief because we are not used to that. Now, how to get it back? Ask two questions. What are you seeing? I'm just seeing six elements. Where is this person who I love so much? Is not there. The moment you see that, say that it's not there, instantly you can feel a tickling sensation, tinge of fear, and so forth. And again, these experiences may disappear instantly. They will be a fleeting experience. So our job is try to get back to the experience as much as possible, as many times as possible. Okay, where is this person that's ultimate? There's no way to be seen. Stay in this experience for a while. This is the most fearless mind in the world. Wow, this is amazing. But what's the benefit of this meditation? Yes, just as this person dissolves in the experience of this emptiness, if your miseries also don't exist objectively, in the eyes of ultimate analysis, all your miseries, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, so forth, they will all dissolve in this experience of wow, this is amazing. This transcends, this experience of emptiness helps you transcend all your sorrow. Okay, that's amazing. Transcendence of sorrow is absolute peace. This is what the Buddha taught as a fourth seal. So precious. Yes, indeed. Stay in this experience for a while. And generate a very strong aspiration. May I experience this emptiness in its bare form, where all the conventionalities dissolve, where all the miseries dissolve. The moment the miseries dissolve, the lightness, the bliss, the happiness dawns in you. This is known as the absolute peace. Okay, slowly come out of this practice before we move to the Bodhicitta. Are you ready? Bodhicitta will do on the basis of the four mesh balls and followed by the Bodhicitta commitment. Ready? Okay, invoke all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us as so loving, caring, and embracing. And all of our members, your parents, your children, and all of our members, and all dear messenger beings with you, leaving them aside. And you are so loving, caring towards them. Okay, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and causes happiness. Causes happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness and the unconditional love of Bodhicitta. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like the mother, after all these many years of raising her children, today the mother witnesses. The mother sees that the eldest daughter, who is just 12 years old, eldest son, 11 years old, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. You love us so much. We're grown up now. We'll take care of all our siblings." Mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. She's so proud of you. Tears rolling down her cheeks. So proud of you. This pride and happiness. The Buddhas, this is exactly what the Buddhas Bodhisattvas feeling today. This pride and happiness Buddhas Bodhisattvas feel. Invoke their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all the messenger beings. The mere touch the lights and nectars, or the nectars and lights with the bodies beings yours, instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings and yourself. And you witnessing such miracles happening towards all the messenger beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. Cause of suffering primarily consists of self-grasping, ignorance, and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the remaining such courageous commitment, they intensely have been proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate mind to yourself the nectars of soothing lights towards you and all them sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars and bodies is yours. Washes up all the miseries and the cause of the miseries from the mind of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all of the sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and cause of happiness that they endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings be never separated from happiness and the cause of happiness they are endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the cause of happiness that they endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that we make such courage, commitment, and intensely happy. This happens in pride, invoke the compassion minds to send from nectar of sweet knowledge towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of light and nectars with the bodies makes yours, stabilizes the happiness and causes the happiness that the beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all ultimate sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dim sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dim sentient beings with total love and affection. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are separated from the freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witness that we make such courageous commitment, they're intensely happy. This happiness, like the mother after all these many years of raising her children, feels so happy to see that the eldest daughter and the eldest son, they were there to commit to take responsibility for the whole family. This example Bodhisattva, all Buddhas Bodhisattvas is so proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to send forth nectars very sweet knowledge towards you and all the message beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes yours. Makes the beings be freed from the biased attitude, excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dimensions with equal love and affection. And you witnessing such miracles happening towards all the beings, you're so happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound the relief. Underscore all the 5 immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings. Abiding the experience of the unconditional love. Imagine that you are looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings to the extent that each one of them feels himself as so special in your eyes. With the spirit of the unconditional love, with the folded hands, let us make 3 Bodhicitta commitments together 3 times. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Okay, this slowly transform this incredibly beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, horizontally sitting in the heart. Okay, that's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha, but keep in mind, you should not forget that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that, but I'm not a handful of sand. I have a Buddha nature within me. See, the perfection is already within me. How come that it is not activated since time immemorial till now? Yes, it's all because that I'm being deceived by the 2 demons, self-grasping and self-centered attitude. I'm going to do everything to exterminate the 2 demons. How can I do that? But it's a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness, non-dual wisdom emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas. How can I do that? Okay, what is that? Let's quickly retrieve the experience of emptiness which you meditated on as the 3rd seal, as a part of the 4 seals. Think of that person who you love so much. Subject this person to ultimate analysis. You see the 6 elements. Which of the 6 elements is to identify this self. None. Now see if the self exists as objectively as different from these six elements. Remove six elements, what do you see? Nothing is left there. Nothing is to be seen as that person to whom I love. Okay. So these are only two possibilities that the person does exist objectively. There's only two possibilities. Ruling out that these two possibilities is ruling out the possibility for this person to exist objectively. Yes, I agree. Now tell me, in also ultimate analysis, where is this person? No way to be seen. I discovered that it's in also ultimate analysis totally non-existent. Stay in this experience for a while. It doesn't mean that person doesn't exist. The person does exist, but not the way the person appears to you. You exaggerate the person who exists objectively. This is the problem. This is what attracts all the miseries. Or you go back to the ultimate analysis. What happens to this person? This person nowhere to be seen. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon at your heart. Okay, now you have the non-dual bodhicittas, the title of this book, the non-dual bodhicittas. Moon is symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, the unconditional love of bodhicitta, wishing to become Buddha for yourself to benefit all the other sentient beings. And this guarantees you that it will help to remove the self-centered attitude. And a Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which is the non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. And this will guarantee you that it will remove all your mental defilements, no matter how subtle, no matter how gross. Amazing. This guarantees that your Buddha nature is going to awaken fully where all mental defilements will be removed completely. Yes. Let's not forget that your two parents, your children, your family members, all your friends, all their mothers, they are suffering terribly. Yes, generate very strong compassion. And this compassion invoked the Vajramuni at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share once with the Vajramuni at the heart of your mother, once with your father at his heart, once at each one of your children, each one of your family members, with each of the beings here in the Tushita Center, in India, in your own country, in the world, in the entire universe. Wow, that's amazing. Let us not forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas are also with us. Why not we invite Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the witness to us to undertake the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow? For that matter, along with all the sentient beings, let us slowly start to make 3 prostrations to request all Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the witness and a guest here. Okay, on your right knees, at page 50, page 50. Okay, just visualize all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas there with us, like the way and the manner in which you and your You and your siblings, all sentient beings, like very small children, for the first time in your life, make a public appearance on behalf of the school. And your parents are so proud of you, and they leave behind they leave behind all what they do for that day to join the audience, waving their hands to you, saying that we are here, we are proud of you. This is exactly what all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas are feeling today. And you inspiring all your siblings, small children, to come with you to take part in this extremely important event of your life. And everybody, they join you so happily. So with this in mind, let us recite the verses, but reflect on the meanings as much as you can to take the aspect in Bodhisattva vow. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, the next two verses, to take inspiration from all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly the Buddhas of the past, how they became Buddha to benefit all the beings. I will take the footsteps by creating the two factors. One, a very powerful motivation bodhicitta, and a second, to materialize this aspiration bodhicitta, just as they engaged in the 6 perfections. Practice of the Bodhisattva practices such as 6 perfections and 10 perfections. Likewise, all are also engaged in these practices in order to become Buddha for the benefit of the sentient beings. 3 times together, wholeheartedly, but different meanings. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy of having received the aspect Bodhisattva vow. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so proud of you today. The joy and the pride that they feel invoke the Vajramuni at their heart to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, these replicas of Vajramuni descend to merge with the one that you visualize in your heart. They by blessing become non-dual and stabilized. Likewise, all the innumerable Vajramuni from the Buddhist Bodhisattva's heart, they descend to merge with that you visualize the heart of your mother, and the heart of your father, at the heart of each one of your family members, each one of sentient beings in the entire universe, thereby blessing, becoming indual, and becoming non-dual and stabilized of the Vajramuni that you've shared with them. That's amazing. That's so precious. And this is the greatest gift for all the demonstration beings. And today you have gifted them with this. This is the greatest offering to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And today you made it. And this greatest meaning that you can make out of your life. And today you made it. This is amazing. It's so precious. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they feel so happy and proud of you. And this is all happening because of the kindness of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of the thanking all Buddhas Bodhisattvas for this, they slowly start to make true appreciations of Buddhas Bodhisattvas along with all the sentient beings. Okay, page 51. To be connected with this teaching, the practice of the two bodhicittas in future lifetimes, we'll say this together 3 times, wholeheartedly. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and able about true precious Bodhicitta saved in the cosmic life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta saved in the cosmic life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta saved in the cosmic life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I'm one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel of Hebrew rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. Its supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all power in the world, is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease, is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence, is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth, is the dawning moon of the mind that expels the torment of disturbing conceptions, is the great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world, is the quintessential butter from the churn of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival temporary and ultimate delight. May God's demigods all be joyful. Okay, we'll do the meditation prayers accordingly. Okay, just let us take some time to to dedicate the virtues. That His Holiness the Dalai Lama lives long and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. And also let's pray that all these wars, tensions, stress everywhere in the world, on the domestic level, on the national level, the international level, may all these subside. May every citizen of the world can have a fresh breath of air to breathe, the fresh breath of peace to be, for them to experience that, and that the virtues proliferate in the mind of all the leaders and all the beings. And let's pray that these great learning centers, where the Buddha's teachings, Buddha's message of compassion, Buddha's message of wisdom, they are studied in depth, reflection and meditation happening. They become like the ultimate source of the nectar of Dharma for all the world. May these centers thrive in the activity of study, meditation, and that the members there, they are harmonious, they work solely for that purpose, and through the personal dedicated merits that's gathered, that each one of you through concerted effort be able to soon see the dawn of the true Bodhicitta within yourself, that each one of you becomes such a reliable guide to lead all human sentient beings towards ultimate happiness. With this in mind, let's say the Dorji verses together. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect way in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds were surmised blinded with ignorance. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. Through prostrations.